Welcome to this activity. Let's continue where we left off. We added these contact details: phone number, email, Facebook ID, and location. We're going to need some icons, but in the short break I took the liberty of finding some. Here they are, and I've already resized them to 40 by 40 pixels. Give me a second while I drag and drop them into our project and I place them accordingly. I have them 20 pixels from my text layer. To make sure they're properly aligned, I won't rely on the Distribute Vertical Centers command. Instead, I'll use the Marquee tool and do it manually for each one. It's going to be a bit more time-consuming, but this will give me a perfect result. As I work in the background, I'd like to remind you to follow my instructions and create a perfect replica. After you're done with it, make a copy of that PSD file and start adding your own twist to it. Maybe add an interesting pattern instead of this texture. Use a brighter colour instead of this brown and cream colour combo, and so on. Here, this design is as safe as it can be. OK, these are done and I'll group them together. Leave about 80 pixels from the bottom line. As for the left side, I want to add a bit of detail in that region. Grab the Ellipse tool and click anywhere on the canvas. Let's create a circle that's 90 by 90 pixels. Align it to the left side of our project with the help of our smart guides. This should also be top aligned with our contact details. Here's where your smart guides will help out quite a lot. Make sure your zoom level is okay. It may happen that you're too close in to see what's going on. Here, this seems fine. Drop the fill to 0% and we'll add a stroke effect. This is going to be placed inside the shape. 6 pixels should be enough for its size. As for the colour, for the moment we'll use A3, 9C, 8C. This is good to go. Let me create a copy and bottom align it with our left element. Between these two, I want the exact same distance as before. That means 80 pixels. Now is the perfect time to take a step back and see if there are any issues with our work so far. It's bound to happen from time to time. Maybe you've lost something in the process. If that's the case, review the lecture and see if you've skipped a step. If that's not the case, you have this PSD attached to this video. Now, let's group everything in one single folder except for the background layer. I'll do that because next I'll add a couple of layer styles to all these components. Let's get started with a bevel and emboss. For the style, I have it set at inner bevel with a chisel hard technique. Crank up the depth to 1000%. The size should be fine at 1 pixel and we don't want to soften it. For the angle, go with 90 degrees. Moving on to the highlight and shadow, have the first one set at 75%. For the other one, drop it to 0 because we don't want any shadows creeping in. This doesn't look all that great, but next we'll add a gradient overlay. Have it set at normal for the blending mode with an opacity of 100%. Change its style to linear if it's not already set, and for the angle, go with 0 degrees. This means we'll have a horizontal gradient. Let's input our colours. For the left side, I've chosen FE F9 DA. This is a very light yellow colour that should stand out nicely on this background. For the right side, I wanted something more intense, FF DB 61. And that's our sober business card so far. Now it's time to create its presentation, and if we see anything that doesn't seem right, we can go back and arrange it. First, create a duplicate of your entire Layers panel and convert it to a smart object. We're going to use it in a different tab where we'll create a cool presentation for it. Start with a canvas size that's 1000 by 800 pixels. For the resolution, 72 pixels is fine because we're not going to print it. This is just to showcase our work. We have to place our cards on some type of floor, so I've prepared this wood texture. You have it attached to this lecture. Let's drag in our smart object and we'll resize it to about 600 pixels or so. Make sure the chain icon is clicked so the height will resize as well. Now the next step is to make it look like it's laying on the floor, so enable free transform mode and we'll get to work. Hold Ctrl and drag each corner in such a way where you can guide yourself with the floorboards. The idea is to try and maintain our card parallel with these gaps. This will require a lot of fiddling because we want to make it look as real as possible. The idea is to be patient and explore different looks. Drag a corner to a new position, then take a step back and see how it looks. If you're not happy, reposition it again. So all 4 points have to receive a fair amount of attention. I can immediately spot some things I want to change, but first I have to wrap up this task. In case you're having a particularly hard time, go to Google Images and look for some examples. You can even drag them inside your project and take down their opacity to 20 to 30%, thus you can use them as a guide. Okay, fast forward, and I think this is looking good. Next, I'll create a stack of cards by creating several copies of this smart object. Here's the process. Use Ctrl-J to create a copy. Then select the layer that's underneath it and nudge it 4 pixels downwards. Repeat this process at least 4 or 5 times so we can get a chunky stack of business cards. You'll notice that as I'm creating more and more duplicates, they seem to blend together, and that's because in our original design that's intended for print, we didn't include any sorts of shadows or highlights. But now we can get to work. I'll select the first one from the Layers panel and I'll add an inner shadow for this right side. This will be set to Multiply, 40% opacity, pure black. The angle is important. I'd say something like -25 degrees should work out well, but this will depend a lot on your light source and how you place these cards on the floor. 2 pixels for the distance, 2 for the size. Next, I'll add another one, this time for the bottom region. This one should be white, set on screen. For the opacity, 20% should be fine. The angle I'll go for is -150 degrees. 1 pixel for the distance, 0 for the rest. Okay, so far so good, but I want to add a gradient overlay too. For its settings, screen for the blend mode, 25% opacity. For the style, I'll go with linear, and the angle is going to be set at 45 degrees. In this case, I want to show a light source that's coming from the bottom left side of the screen. Click the gradient and we'll choose a predefined one. It's this one here, from black to transparent. But instead of black, I'll double-click and change it to white. As for the right side, I'll remove this handle. Okay, our gradient is good to go. Feel free to toggle its visibility so you can see the before and after. Finally, I'll add a drop shadow, pure black set on Multiply with a 25% opacity. For the angle, 45 degrees should be fine. For the distance and size, let's go with 3 pixels. Remember, all these settings can be later adjusted, they're not written in stone. Press OK, and now we'll paste this effect on all the other cards. Okay, now this looks much better. Each card seems to be independent, so they're no longer mushed together. Great stuff. Let's handle all the finishing touches in the last part of this series. I'll see you in a second.